We'll start with the Mustad R30 size 10 dry fly hook. We've got Dyneema or GSP for the deer hair part of this pattern. So we'll just attach our tying thread and we'll go back about so far. Remove that. Don't try and break off your GSP or Dyneema by jerking it. So I've got a little bunch of moose body hair. So I'll just measure the tail. This should be about the length of the hook shank. So I'll just tack this in firstly, just to check the length. It's a bit too long. That'll do me. And then I'll just secure it with 2 loose turns, and then I'll go up the hook shank, reposition the tail, and I'll come in and tighten up. If you don't do it this way, it gets too tight at the tail section and your tail will flare all over the place. So now can we go down the hook shank nice and tight, and then when we get to the tail it stays nice and straight. We can lift all this now, get rid of it. What we need to do now before we start putting the deer hair in, go back a couple of turns and we need to lock off our tying thread with a good tight whip finish. There we are. So when we start packing our deer hair and pushing it backwards, we're not going to push the tying thread back along with the deer hair. So we can go back here now to there. Then what we need is a little piece of masking tape, and what we do, we want to put this right where the thread ends, like so, and we'll fold that over the tail, try and keep it horizontal, and we'll just push that together like so. This will protect your tail when you're trimming the deer hair later. So this is winter coat, good spinning hair. I've cleaned the hair and stacked it at the cut end, and we'll tie this one in first. So what we want to do is go around once loosely, twice, and then we'll tighten up, and then we want to zigzag through all the way forward, pull everything back, and then lock it off. Take our second bunch and again place this diagonally on the hook shank, and we go once, twice, and then we'll tighten up, let it spin, go through the hair. If you zigzag through it, you won't trap any hairs down later on. I can get another bunch in there and still have room for the hackle. Smaller bunch now, diagonally, once, twice, tighten up, let it spin, go through the hair. Then what we do is we lift all our hair at the tail, hold onto the tail, our finger and thumb on the back side, and we take a hair packer and we put this on, and we just push our hair while twisting slightly back into each other like that, and then I can come forward make a whip finish. Denim is a little bit slippery, so I'll just make one more. Remove that, and the next stage is very important, is that we give this a brush to release any trapped fibres and get everything straight. This makes cutting much more even, like so. I'm using a Stonefo razor blade holder. I've had a lot of questions about this. It's very simple. All you do is, if you twist it clockwise, it opens the jaws so the blade is flat, and if you twist it anti-clockwise, it closes them so you get a curve. It's available from any vineyard stockists, and it's made, as I said, by Stonefo. So once you've got the right angle, what we want to do is come in and just go back down towards the tail, sloping in slightly. Rotate your vise. Take your time with it. And we just form the body all the way down to the shape that you require. Now, there's a lot of meaning about size of the body and the gape of the between the gape of the hook point. That if the body's large, it will reduce hooking and everything else. You can have your own thoughts on that, but if you're fishing with small hooks, of course, the gape is much smaller to start with, so I've never found it a problem. And on such a fly as this, I like a chunky body. And that nice tapered form. There we are. I can go in a little bit more there. Take off all the ones on the underside of the hook. Remove the tape. As the tail protected, then you can go in with serrated scissors and just tidy it up. And then once it's trimmed down, if you wish, if you're as OCD as me, you can take a piece of very fine sandpaper and just smooth it out. So then need regular black tying thread, which will attach at the front and go back right into the deer hair body. Remove that. I've matched up two hackle tips, which should be about the same length as the body. Place these on top just to tidy up my thread. Like so. lift these up, go forward. Those are good, and I can trim off those. Go back and behind. So I like to use a March Brown dyed grizzle hackle instead of the two brown and grizzle hackles. It's not only easier to tie in, but it also creates the same effect. So we'd go forward in our tying thread there. The wings are okay as they are there, and then we want to start this by winding right into the body. I want a nice chunky hackle on this. Make our way forward. Pull the wings back when we get to them. In front. That will do us that. Spin my tying thread up, give it a round profile. And we've got over that 2 times, bring it back. Whip finish tool. Remove the thread. I'll tighten my vise up. I'll come in. Remove the hackle. Drop of varnish. And that's the finished Irresistible Adams. If you enjoy the videos, please like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.